we've still got plenty of spots left open. We take 30. We have, I think, 18 have signed up. We're going to go really hard on our social media, so hopefully we can have more participants. And again, there's a one-day academy. All day Saturday, we'll have breakfast, we'll have lunch prepared, and it's a regional academy. Just a reminder that regional means that it's not only Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, but it's the other departments such as Portage Township, Western Michigan University, State Police, and also the federal government drug enforcement agencies. So we're really excited about it. The other thing that we're going to do next month, it's in final review for two things: for the Office of Professional Standards annual report for 2024, and also the annual report for the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety Chair and Vice Chair. We'll have that in the minutes. We'll give it to you right before the next meeting that we have. So, if not, and one final thing, if you have any questions from the chief's level, be happy to answer it. We have made 9 conditional offers we had final interviews. We have 9 conditional offers made. They're in the final stages, so hopefully all 9 will make it, and we can welcome them as they go through the fire academy in May, and then they will go into the police academy in the fall. So, any questions from me at all?
Yeah, Chief Green, about the academy. First of all, I want to preface my comments that I've been to the Citizens Academy several times, and it's definitely swayed my opinion about the work that you guys do in the field. It's outstanding in the training, and sometimes it's when you not in a person's shoes, you have one perspective, but spend even a day in you guys' shoes, it definitely highlights the difficulty that you have, the split-second decisions that you must make, not only based on your policy, but your job is unique because you also face the perspective of the citizens. So to be able to walk that fine line, I definitely have to commend you on that. Is there any type of criteria or disqualifying that would prevent the citizen from attending?
No, we will run just a quick check to make sure that, there's no warrants or anything, of course, but you got to be 18 and older. We do not shoot live firearms like we used to. That was one of the restrictions that we had, where now we do the virtual reality special technology stuff that's pretty exciting. So 18 and over, and you can live anywhere in the region.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I too would also like to comment about how illuminating that entire process is. I had the opportunity to do the 2-day, and quite frankly, I thought it was just absolutely marvelous. Plus, you learn about other things that are happening in the neighborhoods, right? Because people are there and they're sharing their stories and sharing their concerns. So it's a great opportunity to not only learn about law enforcement, the fire, and all of the things that you all encounter, but I think from an interaction standpoint, it's a great way for people to see what's happening out in the community.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, okay. All righty, if no other questions, I would turn it over to Inspector Mason.
Yeah, I gotta take care of it. Thank you, Chief. Good evening, everyone. So if you have the PCR report in front of you, so as of March 31st, Kalamazoo Public Safety had 11 PCRs. Again, those are police-citizen relations complaints for 2025. 9 of these PCR investigations are closed. 1 is completed and being reviewed by the chiefs. That is where it says chiefs review. And the other is still under investigation. So are there any questions on this year's PCRs so far?
How you doing, Inspector Mason?
Just fine, Michelle.
Good. Question, when it says unfounded, it's basically saying it doesn't happen. What is the basis that you come to unfounded? Is it the officer's report? Do you use video surveillance? How does the chief come to the conclusion of unfounded?
Yeah. So the term unfounded means that the alleged action did not occur. So my investigation, I'll use any available evidence that I have. So police reports, body worn camera, obviously, since that is, we're all wearing them now, in a uniform capacity, that has become it's become a very large component of my investigation, is reviewing body camera, dash camera. I'll conduct interviews with officers if necessary, obviously talk to the citizen if I need more information that's not included in their complaint. So the investigation is pretty multifaceted. I just don't simply rely on the report itself. If there's other evidence there, I'm going to look at it.
And just looking at the data, is there any particular reason why there seems to be a trend in Zone 1 and Zone 2 with the complaints?
Zone 1 seems to always, you'll see the same thing with calls for service. They tend to take, I don't know if the majority, but compared to, we've got 7 zones in the city. Because Zone 1 is the downtown area, it's where most of your traffic is during the day. It's where most of the unhoused population is, that it tends to kind of, a lot of calls to service tend to, I guess, congregate here, for lack of a better term. So you have more police activity, more calls for service, generation of just more complaints. Zone 2, it kind of goes back and forth. I mean, Zone 2 is a pretty large zone. It encompasses the Edison neighborhood and the Millwood neighborhood. It goes from Vine Street all the way down to Kilgore. So there's a very large population that, comprises that.
But if I'm not mistaken, complaints are down.
Well, yes, they are down, mercifully.
So that's a good thing, and we hope that trend continues.
Yes, we do. Any other questions PCR related? Okay. So is the screen still on? Can everybody still see it? Or? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So last month, I had a short presentation on gun violence statistics, more violent crime in general, but we talked about gun violence. And I think Ms. Thrash had asked a question about why gun violence is down, or why are we seizing fewer guns off the street in the past year? What are we doing that's causing things to trend downward? So I wanted to have a very brief presentation, which is like 2 slides, about kind of the efforts that we're making that hopefully have had an impact in things trending that direction. So in the presentation last month, I included this chart, which shows the number of fatal and non-fatal shooting victims over the past 10 years. And you can see in 2020, our community saw gun violence absolutely skyrocket. We saw shooters and their victims becoming younger and younger. So since then, KPS has worked alongside the community to reduce the incidence of gun violence, and consequently the number of victims of gun violence. So these strategies have proven effective because the number of fatal shooting victims dropped by 50% and non-fatal by 30% in 24 from 23. And knock on wood, these numbers continue to trend downward this year. So I wanted to briefly touch again on just some of the gun violence strategies that are used or supported by public safety to impact gun violence. So first is the utilization of crime data to guide deterrent strategies. So our data that we collect is gathered through raw crime stats, information shared by or during our weekly multi-agency crime reduction meetings, through information gathered via the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, or NIBIN, or through information that's provided to or learned by our crime analysts, officers, detectives, or any of our non-sworn personnel. So while this data informs